If your new puppy is a bit of an asshole and you don't love them as much as you think you should, or if you maybe secretly regret getting this dog and you just want your life back, then you are in the what was I thinking phase. In this video, I'm gonna give you 5 tips for breaking free of this terrible time and making it to the part where you can actually enjoy life with your puppy. Hey, it's Jake, and previously on 3 Lost Dogs, we introduced the concept of the what was I thinking phase. And if you're thinking the word phase implies that there are multiple phases, then you would be right. Oh no, she's got the pizza. The squeaky pizza. It's her tradition. Every time I start filming, she chews on the squeaky pizza. Whatever, I'm just gonna roll with it. Please enjoy the background music. There are 3 phases of the new dog adjustment period, and of course everyone's experience is always a little different, but usually you've got this is the first few hours or days or weeks where everything is great. The puppy is a precious little fuzzball, and he's probably a little bit dazed and confused himself, so he's not really doing much of anything. But then Sparky eats his first shoe, or realizes that you're his new mommy, and what do puppies do when they want mommy's attention? They scream. And for the first time, you ask yourself, what the f? We already talked about this last time. Let's skip ahead. This is the part where the sun breaks through the clouds and the angels sing. And they sound like a squeaky toy, apparently. You and Sparky are getting the hang of living together. You're not completely stressed out and sleep deprived anymore. The 2 of you are starting to bond. You may still be dealing with training challenges, but that's okay because the 2 of you are buddies now and you'll get through it together. After this phase, Sparky is no longer your new dog. He's just your dog, and you can't imagine life without him. So how do we get to stage 3? We've got a whole system for surviving this phase in our program, Puppy Survival School. But today I've chosen 5 quick tips to share with you that don't require any work at all to implement because they're mostly about the mental side of things. Because like I said in the last video, all the puppy training advice in the world is useless if you don't believe. Number 1. Know that there is no right or wrong way to feel. When you've been raised, as most of us are, with the message that getting a puppy is the epitome of joy and happiness, it's easy to get upset when your experience doesn't match this rainbows, flowers, unicorns narrative. A lot of people even feel guilty for not being more happy with their puppy. 2 things that you should realize. A puppy is a major life change, and the ways that people react to major life changes are complicated. Some people love their new puppy right away, some don't feel any particular attachment for months. No matter what you feel right now, it is okay. It doesn't have any bearing on your future relationship with this dog. Think cooperation, not confrontation. It's very easy to get trapped in an adversarial thought pattern. Like, how do I get this stupid dog to blank? How do I get this stupid dog to listen to me or stop peeing on the carpet? And I'm pretty sure he's only peeing on the carpet to piss me off and get back at me for telling him no. That way lies madness, my friend. And probably an ulcer. So have compassion for this dog for your sake. Think of how you and dear little Sparky can get through this together. Because that's what you wanted, right? A loyal buddy, a partner in crime. When you're caught up in your own confusion and frustration, it's very easy to miss that this new puppy or this new adult rescue dog is just as confused and frustrated as you are. Look at that, you've got something in common already. You can either be angry and resentful at this dog, or you can stand in solidarity with her. Like, I know this sucks, but we're gonna figure it out together. You're probably not going to screw up your puppy. In all your puppy research, you probably heard things like, it's all in how they're raised, or you found advice that basically says raise your puppy exactly right or else they'll be ruined forever. The people who give this advice mean well, and I totally get where it's coming from, but it's not really true. Babies, human or canine, are not blank slates. Think of the classic tale of the dad who raises his son to be a basketball star only for that son to embrace high school theater instead. We are not extensions of our parents, and your puppy is not an extension of you. A lot of the joy in puppy parenthood comes from discovering who your puppy is, not molding them into the perfect dog. Yes, there is plenty you can do to influence your puppy's behavior and help them become the best dog that they can be, like good socialization and training. We are big proponents of that stuff, obviously, and we teach it in Puppy Survival School. But there are plenty of other factors that are out of your control, meaning that if your dog develops behavior issues at some point in their life, it's not all your fault, okay? And plus, puppies are resilient. You know, the occasional training mistake is not going to doom your progress forever. You don't have to do everything at once, and it's okay to do less. It sure does seem like there is an enormous to-do list when it comes to raising a puppy. There's basic obedience and leash manners and potty training and socialization and getting the puppy to stop eating out of the litter box and blah blah blah. But you don't have to work on all of that at the same time. The things on that list that I would prioritize are socialization, because that's a little bit time sensitive, and potty training. The rest you can pretty much get to whenever. And there are very few commands that you absolutely have to teach your dog. Case in point, 2 of my dogs, River and Hazel, have never learned a stay command, and yet somehow the world has not imploded. We want to work smarter, not harder, you see. Let's take a look at the puppy who eats out of the cat's litter box. Gross. How do we stop it? By putting up some type of barrier so they can't access it, like a baby gate or closing the door. Someday, if you want to train your puppy to leave the litter box alone, you can. But for now, when you're crying in the bathroom every half hour because you just can't take this anymore, don't overcomplicate things. Just use the baby gate. And finally, celebrate tiny successes. When you are slogging through the adjustment period with a new dog, it can feel like you have to fight tooth and nail for every inch of progress. You can get so caught up in the wow, this sucks of the moment that you forget to look back and realize, hey, you've actually covered quite a few inches so far. Did your puppy stop whining and get to sleep a few minutes earlier tonight than last night? Did Sparky have fewer accidents this week than last week? Did you actually manage to laugh at something goofy he did instead of being all frowny and miserable all day? Hell, all of these are wins. They may not seem like much in the moment, but they do mean that you're getting somewhere. So there you go, a starting point for getting out of the what was I thinking phase and getting to the we can do it phase. In Puppy Survival School, we've got step-by-step tutorials and frameworks for all the typical what was I thinking phase puppy issues, like the biting and the peeing on the carpet and the screaming every time you leave the room. The program is available as a self-study thing, or you can get the coaching version where you and I can chat one-on-one and come up with a customized training plan. You can learn more about this at puppysurvivalschool.com. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.